Morning, guys. Morning, gals. It's Delpha-Medic, P.T.S.D in the front lines. Hope you're having a good Sunday morning. I am Steve Wilton. I am your host. Welcome to my video podcast show today. As per usual, we're going to discuss the various challenging topics around post-traumatic stress disorder and the stigma that accompanies this very challenging condition. Like I said in previous videos, I need to let you know that I'm not a licensed physician, doctor, psychiatrist, or psychologist. I'm a simple paramedic and first responder who's been on the front lines for the last 25 years and has acquired post-traumatic stress disorder because of my occupation. Anything you see here, anything you hear here, I implore with you to first talk to your physicianal team before you make any challenging changes or trials with any of the material that I've provided here. The material I provide here is basically my own experience, strength, and hope. It is my journey and the lessons that I have learned and the research I have learned into my condition of post-traumatic stress disorder. Today is day 3 of Sex and PTSD series. It's we're going to have a total of 4 days of this segment, and then maybe we'll move into addiction shortly. Today I want to talk about, today is going to be called trying to move forward together, and together is so important, right? We talked about us the first time, we talked about we on the second segment. Some of the previous segments we discussed. The first day we talked about what exactly is sexual dysfunction, what are the causes, how does it tie into this post-traumatic stress disorder and the connection that it provides in our lives, unfortunately. Yesterday we talked about a little bit of neurotransmitters, and we talked about what we can do to better our own lives sexually as well as post-traumatic stress disorder, and a lot of it had to do with communication. Today we're going to go and dive into practical tips around the sexual act and when sex itself becomes a barrier. We're not going to talk about the nitty-gritty of sex, but what we're going to talk about is because sexuality requires a level of vulnerability and the ability to lower our guard, it really does, like I've said already several times, it flies super high in the face of hypervigilance. We're always watching, we're always being prepared, we're always thinking the what ifs. So to get in the mood, to get the desire going, to get involved in a committing act with your loved one, it's really challenging to lower those shields, so to speak. We worked so many years in bringing those shields up and protecting ourselves and being ready and taking care of people around us that now it's very difficult for us to kind of get in that type of position to become vulnerable again. A couple of things I want to talk about. Ways we can set ourselves up during intimacy, physical intimacy, is start experimenting with positions that you feel very comfortable in. Things you think about when you're involved with it, or even before you get involved with it. Do you like this position? Does it feel good? Is it working for you and your partner? The most important thing I can only stress on this: do I feel safe? Can I feel comfortable and safe enough in that position that either I feel that my safety is being protected by my partner, or I've placed myself in an environment that's so important that is in a loving, nurturing, but protective environment, so that I can actually relax and enjoy the intimacy, the physical intimacy with my partner. Getting and talking about the environment. We have triggers. We all know we have triggers. A recent place that I went to, Project Trauma Support, talks about triggers as being inconveniences, things that disrupt our lives. Things like that would be, is there any smells in the room that are setting you off or causing you to either dissociate or flash back? What about the lighting? Does it feel safe? Is there enough lighting? Is there not? Is there too much lighting? Things like that. We can really adjust our environments. When you look at the room itself, does it feel warm and inviting? Is there anything in that room that's triggering or making you feel uncomfortable? These are all things that we can really work with. But working with it requires us to be open with our partner so that they understand that when we have issues, that we can work through them with our loving partners together. Paying attention and focusing and being present with your partner also helps you to feel safe. If I'm being conscious of what my partner is doing and how it feels and how they're responding, and that will allow me to be much more present and be in sync with that person. If eye contact is comfortable with your partner, there's nothing like looking into another person's eyes, especially a human being that you're deeply in love with, and that you want to spend that moment of time in physical intimacy. It gives that real nice tight connection. I know that when I look at my wife's eyes, Lynn, it makes me feel very much connected, and I actually feel safer when I have her eye contact, because I know that she's looking at me, I'm looking at her, and not only that, we can see each other, what's going on behind us. Remember, like as responders and vets, that that was always really important, right? We were always looking at people, but we're also looking behind people because we wanted to protect their backs. This is kind of like that even in this situation. I'm not trying to encourage hypervigilance, but it's a way that we can realize that when our partners look at us, they do have our backs. They do see what's going on behind us. Various different things of meditation and being the work of becoming present. We talk about the 5 things I see, the five things I can smell, the 5 things I'm touching. That type of meditational type program that allows you to be more in touch with what's going on and less dissociating way out there. Focus on your partner's touch. How does it feel? What is different about it? Talk to your partner about it afterwards, because that's a really good level of communication as well. As I said, the environment is extremely safe, and if the environment is extremely safe, you feel supported by your environment. You can work together to turn around and work on that environment and really communicate really well. As much as some of us want to believe that the foreplay and the actual act is the most important part, really what it is for me, I feel the afterplay, the connection part of it is extremely important for me. It builds trust with my partner, and it can build trust with you. It's every part of this step process is really important, but the building of trust is so good. That's what we work towards. Have a plan when you start to dissociate, and realize that dissociating can be really involuntary, even with someone who you love and someone you trust. Be in control of the encounter of the physical intimacy also helps you to not so much dissociate, because you're actually paying attention into what you're doing. We're going to go into the next part of the segment tomorrow. It's going to be the last one, and I really hope that you've enjoyed this. Tomorrow we're going to talk about hope and the benefits of a healthy sexual lifestyle, and working on sex and PTSD with the ones that we love. Have a great Sunday. Stay warm, stay focused, stay present. Bye for now.